and then we bring in Limax. Okay. Got it.
Cashamaniacs.
Geo Gearheads.
Welcome back to the Geo Gearheads episode 509. I'm Daryl W4 back with Chris of the Northwest for another installment of this not so randomized show. We actually have a topic today. But it has been quite the week.
Shows. You know, it has been for me as well.
Well, it seems to be going around. And like for some people, it seems to be, they're getting their booster shots and that's not going so well. We have a lot of people out sick at work, lots of traveling going on. Someone was saying Metro Airport was the busiest this week that they've seen since the start of COVID, aside from the holidays.
Right.
So, this is someone that worked at the airport.
We're coming up on American Thanksgiving as opposed to Canadian Thanksgiving, which already happened. So we're going to start to get, I think, more and more air traffic.
I would expect that. We're going to see a lot more driving, I think, even despite the fuel prices being higher than usual.
Oh, boy.
So we'll see what this is going to turn out to be. But I'm excited because it's coming up to next weekend. The big, but not so terribly big, Halloween geocaching event that I just look forward to every year.
Not so terribly big, huh?
No, I mean, we're talking probably less than 50 people.
Okay.
It might be more, but the last few years, it hasn't been all that big. And we might actually have decent weather this year, which we usually don't get for the event.
I remember growing up in Ohio and Halloween was always odd, right? Some years it would be warm, some years it would be freezing cold. So, you would just go and get a costume that could, fit over a big coat. And if you didn't have to wear it, it was saggy and, the Incredible Hulk didn't look so strong. But, you didn't want to put on the big coat underneath if you didn't have to.
Yeah. Well, we were watching a video making fun of the 1980s Halloween costumes for kids
with the plastic mask. I mean,
the blown plastic mask with the eye holes cut into it, and the shower curtain clothes, which never actually looked like what it was. It was always a picture of what it was supposed to be on it. It's like those memes of the mugs with the photo of the item that you wanted on the mugs that you get from Wish. So yeah, the 80s. I'm so glad we're not there.
Yeah, the classic 80s Halloween masks.
Well, the worst thing is it's pre-geocaching.
Yes, exactly. So why even be outside?
Right. Why be outside? Why go traveling? You have no way to tell where you've ever been because you can't track those geocaches.
And the Pickle Ninja says sometimes we get snow on Halloween.
Yeah. For a while we were getting snow usually the weekend before Halloween or of Halloween, like every year. And it made it miserable as a kid. But we are not here to talk about Halloween.
Are you sure?
Yes, and we're not talking about...
Have you seen the TV commercial where a certain quarterback in a certain Ohio city is giving out trick or treat to the kids that come up to the stadium? So he drops in a handful of chips and then squirts in nacho cheese sauce on top of that?
No.
Nachos for everyone. Oh, okay. Anyway.
That sounds gross.
Yes, it's supposed to be.
But why don't we get away from things that make us want to hurl and talk about our virtual caching pack? So we're going to bring on Limax, who's been doing his research on apps to help us solve puzzles and such. So welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. Now, about Halloween, there is a... No.
I was like, we're going to go back there.
Did you have the plastic orange pumpkin?
Oh, I'm sorry. We seem to have lost Limax.
No, actually, we had the plastic trick or treat bags to go along with our plastic 80 masks and our things that fit over our clothing. But
Well, I seem
actually
to
remember that as
remember.
being, yeah,
I seem to remember UNICEF giving out the plastic, like the litter bags that you used to get from the Drive 55
Yes.
highway safety guys. They'd
Mhm.
give those out in like orange for the kids to go trick or treating.
Yeah.
And please take our basket to drop coins in.
Yeah, actually, we were using those costumes also that you're talking about in the late 70s because I know my Darth Vader costume that I had in either 77 or 78 was that.
Oh yeah. Those are probably the worst ones. I remember those Star Wars costumes. It's like, who are you supposed to be? Can't you see it says right here, I'm Luke Skywalker.
No, yeah, let's see. Now this is geocaching.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
This is the virtual Halloween tote of geocaching goodness.
Okay. So
The virtual
No?
trick or treat bag.
it's
Yeah,
not
there you go.
it's not this then.
No, it's not. No
no,
music.
not and but we yeah, the words are tough. We will want you to play the closing theme though for us live.
Okay. I'll start practicing now and you guys just go talk over there. All right. So I did do my research and we probably should get into this because as usual, there's quite a bit. I will put in a caveat up front. I have not tried all of these apps. A lot of this is what I found by searching. First couple of things, some background. For those who haven't seen me on the show before, a lot of what I've been brought on to talk about has been GPS technology and GPS satellites, coordinates, those sorts of things. So
Anything to do with math.
anything to do with math. It's like, oh, look, we have to do 1 + 1. Call Limax. And
2 + 2 can equal 5 for large values.
for
of 2.
large values of 2, yes.
Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
Not going to work that out. No. So I included in our show notes, and I'm sure Dare will include this in it, a couple of links to a couple of articles that I use on a regular basis when I'm doing this sort of thing. The first one, which I have talked about before, is FAA Order 8260.58 Bravo, which is where the Vincenti formulas come from. The Vincenti formulas were developed in the mid 70s, if I remember correctly. And they're an infinite series, but they are one of the most accurate ways to find positions on the Earth and calculate between positions on the Earth, since the Earth is not perfect. So,
What?
no. It's got all these little bumpy bits.
They're hard to climb too.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got a link to the FAA order, and I've also got a link to the wiki page that is on Vincenti formulas for checking that out. So
Thaddeus Vincenti.
Thaddeus. Okay. I just say Vincenti. I don't think I ever learned his first name.
I think he got beat up in school.
Probably. Old Thad there.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Thaddeus. No. All right. So the first couple, I'm actually going to talk about some ones that are available on Windows to begin with. Or excuse me, I should say computers to begin with, because first two we're going to talk about is a program that I've used called FizzyCalc. This is the Windows version of it that Daryl has put up on the screen for us, and there's also a Mac version, which was that was ported by Jim Carson. And actually, Jim Carson is up near you, Chris. I think that's actually his user. It's a geocaching name. I want to say it was in Issaquah, but I can't remember. It was that area.
I wonder if that's JCar. I think it might be.
Okay. Could be. But FizzyCalc was created by FizzyMagic, which a lot of people know because he is the namesake of the Fizzy Grid, the Fizzy Challenge. I went back and I watched his appearance on the Challenge Talk Geocache on the Geocache Talk Network, and he was talking a bit about when he was creating this, and he used the Vincenti formulas to do that. He said he learned a lot about UI programming when he did it. But yeah, I mean, he lives right near me, so I've had the opportunity to cache with him on occasionally. I can't say we're friends except on Facebook. So, but he's somebody. I'll say we know each other, and that's about as far as it goes. But with Fizzy Magic, there are FizzyCalc. There are quite a few different things you can do. You can do coordinate conversions. You can do distance relations, that sort of thing. It's a very basic thing. The second one that we've got that is actually only Windows only is OutletCalc. It is a very, very, very basic calculator. It is called an arbitrary precision calculator, and this is created by Team Outlet, who's also near me, and this is more a case where I know him and I might be on his radar, but only if he's seen my name on the log. But that is actually a really good tool for doing those calculations if you need to do something that requires a little more precision that you can't get with writing a computer program or whatever. And it's a very rudimentary, very simple calculator. You download an executable, create a shortcut on your desktop to open in a command window, and that's it. And of course, there are things like GSAC and iCaching. I don't have screenshots for those. Most people are familiar with those. GSAC, I actually have used in the past to do a projection back when all I had was a GPS, and I couldn't get the projection to go far enough on my GPS. So I actually had to go from the coordinates where I was, go back home, calculate it, and then go find the final after that. Thankfully, it was all close by, but not very convenient.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the way.
No. And iCaching, I mean, that's kind of up and coming. It really is more of just a database rather than a full-fledged tool the way that GSAC is. The fact that you've got people are still writing macros for GSAC is good. That can do different things.
Yeah, but how long is that going to last for us?
Oh God, I don't know. I keep hoping it'll last a long time. And I mean, I've been using it for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
I never printed out reams of paper. I was paperless caching at the beginning in 2004. And I used GSAC because with GSAC, I could convert everything to CacheMate. That was the one that was on the Palm Pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a handspring visor that I used with CacheMate on it, converted it to that, then converted it to my old Garmin GPS 12 that held 500 waypoints, I think, and that was it.
I mean, come on, isn't that enough?
Back then, yes.
You couldn't find that many in one day.
Oh no, definitely not. But yeah. Okay. That being said, let's go on to some iOS tools here. First one up will be GC Tools. This is actually from my iPhone. There again, it's got quite a few different tools in it. You've got your waypoint calculations, some basic cipher decoding, meaning it won't figure out what the code is for you, but if you've got the key, it will do it for you. And it's got some converters and stuff like that. And of course, then the button called full version, which I think I if I remember right, I actually do have the full version of that. Unfortunately, with a lot of these, I don't have prices on them. So I think GC Tools is free unless you unless you want to do more with it. And I got it mainly so I could do the ciphers and just show. Is that going to even work? No, that's not going to work at
Not
all.
really.
Kind of like that. I mean, there's some of the ciphers that are on there, but yeah. Oh well, you got shinies everywhere. It's not going to work. I have actually used that one on occasion for waypoint calculations. It works fairly well for out in the field. The the thing with that is like it's just very quick and dirty. If I remember right, the input on that was kind of rudimentary. It was a little bit tricky to take care of with that. So, and then we also got geocaching toolkit IGCT. There again, a very basic one, as you can see. It's actually in some case a lot more basic than GC Tools is. I think this is the free version. The pro version costs 99 cents, so it's not a very expensive app. But there again, you've just got your basic things, and as far as I know, all of these do use the Vincenti formulas to figure them out. If they didn't, they'd be kind of doing themselves a disfavor. Although over short distances, you can actually get away with doing a flat plane. But that's what's nice about this one is you can convert back and forth between WGS 84 and UTM, which actually FizzyCalc had that also. But who's going to bring a computer out to the field?
I know people who have.
Well,
yeah,
it does happen. So
back in the day, it was you could take it in your car at least, right?
Yeah,
mount it in the car, have a a little table there so you could work on it. And I don't see that happening as much anymore. Did we mention what the Vincenti formulas do that helps you determine distance from point to point on a sphere or on a
it's
sphere,
an ellipsoid actually, but
ellipsoid? Okay.
Yeah, I mean close enough. I mean
A not flat surface.
a non-flat surface that is. And unfortunately, the Earth is very irregular. So I mean, it's not even a perfect ellipsoid. They get close enough, and at least for right now, WGS 84 is the closest that we have to that. Although I think Europe was working on a new one, and it's like for the longest time here in the United States, we're using NAD, the North American datum. And I remember NAD 29 was used, which was 1929. And I don't know if they did one more recently than that before they switched to WGS 84. We're still using WGS 84, but like I said, I know that they're working on new datums. And what's nice about the Vincenti formulas is it really only matters what the size of your major axis and your minor axis is. So the longer, from the center of the Earth out for the longer distance is the major axis, and the shorter distance, which is 90 degrees away, is the minor axis. But yeah, everything is based on that. You get your flattening, you get everything else from that. And most of what I saw back actually when I was doing your show, Chris, whenever that was, most of what they gave was just the major axis and the flattening. And then from that, you could get the minor axis and work everything from there.
I was unfamiliar with the NAD 27, but it's North American datum from 1927.
Yep.
It's that old. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, the WGS is World Geodesic Survey, if I remember correctly.
System. Geodetic System of 1984.
Yeah.
I only know that because I have it up here in front of me.
Well, you're one of those people that happen to have multiple screens. But yeah, and a lot when we're doing puzzles out in the field, which is what a lot of these are for, quite a bit of it involves projecting from the point that you are currently at and finding where you can go from there. in some ways, letterboxing does that sometimes. I've seen letterboxes that say, go 90 degrees, whatever. But most of it should be in letterboxing is the clues like go towards the 3 circles. Once you reach the 3 circles, turn around thrice and then go back the way you came. And so anyway, going on with what I've got here. The next one I've got is a cash toolbox. Now, this is not one that I've tried. This is a $4 item. And this is a screenshot I took directly from the App Store. There again, I mean, what you've got there is you've got a lot of the different codes, but there again, it actually, can have your current position, and then the coordinates, if I remember correctly, is for doing your coordinate calculations from there. I don't remember what the tools tab is with that. And let's see, I did. Huh. Oh no, that's right, because it's over it's over. I was looking here. It's like, I know I've got 2 multicache tools for iOS, but I remember one of them's multi-platform, so it'll be discussed later. This right here that Daryl's just put up on the screen for us, this is Raccoon, which is a multicache only tool. It's one of those ones where you say, A is this, B is that if you're in the field, and then you could put it into this and do calculations with it. And it's got a spot for your variables and a spot for your waypoints. The limitation, if you want to call it that, with both this one and the one I will be discussing in a bit here, which let's see, which would be GC Buddy. They only use uppercase letters. Now, that may not seem like a problem to most, but my old nemesis, KC Searcher, he uses every letter of the alphabet in the caches that you're trying to find. And then when you go to the bonus caches, he uses lowercase letters, which makes it very difficult to actually use something like this to calculate them. So I usually I'm doing it in a spreadsheet instead.
Is he using upper and lowercase? So he's getting a possibility of 52 characters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, I think he skips O and I. So it's a possibility of 48 characters. No. Yes. I'm doing math late at night and it's not working well.
That's okay. Some of us can't do math any time of the day.
Yeah, I was training my brain right before we got here. I was working on a killer Sudoku and it was not going well. Yeah, arithmetic was just working hard, not going easy tonight. Okay, so the next one we got up here, this is ChordCalc, and this is actually the first one I ever used for a field puzzle. It's kind of it's amusing to me because that's actually the puzzle on the screen there. I was at Walden Pond in Massachusetts, and I was projecting a point from the original cabin site to spot on there was a possibility of 2 spots from that. You were given. I know you weren't giving a degree direction. You were given a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have either been this or 180 degrees away from this.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was that was kind of a fun one. But this is one of those cases where I think this was back on when I had an iPhone 4. I think was how long ago it was. I had an iPhone 4. I think I had I don't remember if I had my Magellan. I probably had my Magellan 510 by then. But I'm out in the field. I'm by the cabin, and I want to do this puzzle, and so I just started flipping through the App Store and happened to find this particular app that was free, and it did the job. I'll say
now you can do projections in. I know GC Droid and
Cashly.
Cashly.
Yeah, they both do that, and so in some cases you really don't need an extra app. I just saw GSM times 2's question there.
What's an app in both OSs that will allow you to waypoint average a waypoint to set a geocache?
Oh,
That's a different question.
he's got a different question, and I have an answer for Android. I didn't find one for iOS.
Yeah, I haven't seen a good waypoint averager in iOS.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, let's skip down to that one. Let's see.
Well, Blank
Actually,
GSM
it's the
times
next one on
two.
the list, I think. Oh no, wait, it isn't. Yeah, GPS point.
Mhm.
That's this one here. This is one I found on Android. There again, I haven't used it yet, but this is somebody. What they've done is they've done a spot here. Daryl, could you bring up the about screen for that? Yeah, this one here, it says GPS point uses scientifically built algorithms to get precise location using your device. Favorite tool for geocachers when placing a new cache. Create, manage, export your favorite places. So this uses GPS averaging app backed by science and statistics. Anything backed by science has got to be good. But this is a tool for placing geocaches. And when he says backed by science, what I'm assuming is he's using Vincenti.
Mhm.
He's just using a buzzword to make himself look big.
It's backed by science, so you can't argue with me.
Right. And one of the, I was looking at the reviews. One of the view reviews was, well, it works, but I need everything to 10 decimal places. And somebody said, and they came back and
And
said,
why?
well, most of what we're doing, we don't need that many decimal places. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, I could get, with Vincenti, you could get 10 decimal places, but really, you don't need that much precision to get,
Mhm.
it's a difference between this point and this point. Wait,
Right.
there.
Right.
I mean, that's about as far as you're talking.
Yeah, you're talking much
Inches.
much lower resolution than the GPS is going to give you in the first place.
Right. And
Your
why
error
somebody
rate
would
is
need
much
that.
higher.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why somebody would need that amount of precision is beyond me. I mean, I used a Magellan 310 to find my first 10 caches.
It was
Yeah.
2 decimal points,
That
right?
was 2 decimal places,
Yeah.
yes.
So on my multiple screens, which you just recently pointed out,
Yes.
I went and searched, and there is a GPS averaging tool on iOS. It's created by the same people as Looking for Cache.
Oh, okay.
Well, 99 cents, and there you go. It will average GPS
Okay.
points
Why did
for
I
you.
think that Looking for Cash was out of production?
It is.
Didn't he say that he was quitting or?
Yeah, it's discontinued. It's as long as it continues to work. He's kind of gone the GSAC model as long as it
Okay.
continues to work.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I know in his case it was family,
Mhm.
where unfortunately with Clyde it was more serious than that. But yeah, as that's one of those things. As long as we get it to work, yeah. Oh, the GPS averaging app, GSM times 2 was asking what's it called?
GPS averaging. I went ahead and pasted the
Oh
link
yes,
there in the show notes.
I see that right in the
Yeah,
in the
it's
chat.
it's very uniquely named GPS averaging. I wonder what it does.
Is it a guitar tuner?
Maybe
Okay.
it's for Bitcoin.
Boy, with as many ads as I'm seeing for Bitcoin right now. Actually,
What did you
Bitcoin
pass?
and
66,000?
yes,
Yeah.
and win money playing solitaire.
So yeah, I want to know what happened in the regulations that all the casinos now have apps.
I
for
wish I
betting.
knew.
Yeah. Anyway, that may
Yes.
not be what we're talking about today, but it's in
Hey.
here, and sometimes it comes out here, and it shouldn't. Okay, go ahead.
What am I? Okay. So let's go ahead and jump back a couple. It goes back to GCC geocache calculator. This is one of the first ones I actually found on Android, and with any of the Android screenshots, they will be a tablet because that's what I'm using is a Samsung Galaxy Tab 8 is what I've got. And I'm trying to remember who told me about this. It was I want to say it was Scott Burks, but that doesn't make sense because he's an iOS user.
Yeah, Head Hard Hat was big on this one. So that might be
maybe
who you're
that's what it
thinking of.
was. Okay. And I'm getting Head Hard Hat and Scott Burks confused. Same
They're
Well,
so
show.
they
similar.
both hosted the geocaching podcast.
Right. So, and I have used this one a little bit. It's actually a pretty good tool. What I actually like about it is that you've got everything laid out in front of you. You don't have to go through menus to find what it is you're looking for. So, and it's got a search bar at the top also. But yeah, that one is actually a pretty good one for using with that. And then I think the last one I've got for Android is Geocaching Backpack. And this one, again, is a very simple one. This one's free. Yeah, actually both GCC, Geocache Calculator, and Geocaching Backpack are free. And it's, there again, I mean, you basically have your digital routes, your word values, and calculating your distances. Which I guess if you've got GC Droid or Cachely, you really don't need something like this anymore. I don't know. I think there's some cases where doing it in an app is a little easier than trying to do it on the fly while you're trying to navigate. So, all right. Then the next one we've got is a GC Buddy, and there
Sounds so friendly.
Oh no, I get back. You're right. No, you were right. Yeah, GCTK. If I could read my notes, I'd be deadly. So, anyway, these are cross-platform ones. Geocaching GCTK. This is both iOS and Mac OS. It's $4 on either one of them. From what I can tell, the functionality is the same. And if you pay for one on one, you have to pay for the other on the other. So if you want both versions, it's $8 for to get both of them. And then there's GC Buddy. It's called Geocaching Buddy on Android, but this is, and it's kind of funny because that's a screenshot that I took from the App Store on the Android, as you can tell. But yeah, to me it looks like the same functionality. I've actually got the Pro version of GC Buddy that I have used occasionally. I mean, those are all caches that I've gone after. I don't think I probably haven't found all of them. I mean, all of them are showing not started. But I think like Viva Val Vista, I may have found that one. I don't remember exactly. There again, memory gone. I'm old. So, and the problem that I really had with GC Buddy is, okay, it's somewhat straightforward entering in the letter to numbers conversions, and you can do a little more complicated calculations with them. But then trying to navigate in the app, trying to go where you are, the navigation just wasn't as robust. So you'd almost be better to do that and then bring it back over to put it back into whatever app you're using and correct the coordinates.
I was just going to say, I love doing the corrected coordinates anyway, just because when someone then comes back and says, hey, can you check these chords for me? I've got them available no matter where I'm at, no matter which app I'm using, even if it's going to the website. Because once you do those corrected chords, it goes back to your account on geocaching.com.
Yeah, which the first time I ever found out about corrected coordinates, I was actually out in the field using my GPS, and I brought up the cache I wanted to go after, and I brought it up on my GPS, but then I brought it up on my phone so that I could then put in a waypoint into my GPS, and then realized wait a minute, the coordinates I've got on my GPS are already corrected coordinates. I hadn't realized that GSAC did that. I mean, I corrected it on the website, but somehow in my skimming and not really reading anything, I didn't find it.
And how many minutes did you waste trying to figure out why your chords that were corrected didn't match what was, or matched what was on the GPS?
Probably only about a minute, so I didn't waste too much time.
Okay.
But I could still
I've done those
picture-
kind of things before going, wait a minute, did I copy down the wrong chords?
Yeah. And I'm wondering if back then I was still using GeoBucket. I don't remember. Because I used that for quite a while. Actually, to believe that that's still in production. That's just kind of hard to believe.
All right. Well, we got one more app. I
Yeah,
think,
we got one more app. This is GC Wizard. This is actually my go-to app, and I found out about this by listening to Podcaster when Childhood Adam was on there talking about his book How to Puzzle Cache. He said this is his go-to app, and it's free, and it's got a heck of a lot of stuff in it, and they're adding more. In fact, they just made an announcement a week or so ago on Podcaster that they've got more coming. And you can see right there they've got a beta tag, images and files, but they've got so much stuff in here. I've used this for my Caesar ciphers. I've used this for more difficult ciphers, coordinate calculations. It's a very slick and nice interface. Bring up the one for the Android. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's iOS. The other one was Android. So, but I mean, here it is. You've got a lot of different tools that you can use, and it's in one app for doing all this. And the best thing is that it's free. And like I said, this is the app. This is my go-to app for doing field puzzles now.
And we always like free.
Yeah.
Especially if it's good, which it sounds like it is.
I think the developers are in Germany, if I remember correctly, for that one. But what's nice is,
there is a GC Wizard Gold for $8.99.
There is.
I wonder what it gives you.
Gold.
I don't remember ever seeing that. I mean, I've looked it up.
Just
before.
look for GC Wizard.
Cue the Austin Powers movie.
Yeah, there it is. GC Wizard Gold. Ah, okay. So they've got
But GC Wizard is still free.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so far the free app has done everything I've needed it to do. Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize there was a GC Wizard Gold. I did not do my full research.
Well, fortunately, most of the tools that we looked at aren't that expensive anyway.
No, They aren't. And I apologize for not having prices on some of them. The ones I've already bought, trying to go back and find what they cost, I was unsuccessful.
Oh, it's not
Apple
easy
doesn't make it. Yeah, well, and Apple doesn't make it easy to get those prices once you've already purchased.
Right. And that's the problem I was running into.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right.
Now we can pause for questions.
Lots of tools.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had a fairly quiet chat room. I think you're overwhelming them with information.
Oh, then I've done my job.
Yeah. Yes, you
have. And we're like just at that 40-minute mark, so you timed it perfectly today.
That is a first for me. Yeah, because I know with my usual topics, I have a tendency to go a little long. Oh.
GSM times 2 says that GC Wizard Gold offers no additional features, just tech support according to the apps page.
So I could see some cases where some people might need that, but yeah, the free app, like I said, it works very well, and it is my go-to app on either iOS or Android.
Well, I'm thinking that's probably more like the tip jar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow!
More of a tip on Android.
Yeah, it's $10.99 on Android.
Yeah,
I wonder how that happened. Nice.
So is WSGA badges, is that a new app?
Yes. Yeah. It's like a wizard.
Okay.
So the comment for those who are listening is LOL, looking up apps and working on WSGA badges at the same time. LOL.
That is Seebeck Tribe.
Seebeck Tribe. Yeah. I recognize the name. I couldn't come up with the cache name.
I could not either. All right. Well, thank you very much, Limax. That's, again, a ton of information, but I think the takeaway is I've got to go download this GC Wizard app.
I just did. It seems to download very quickly.
I'm sure I don't have it.
I know I didn't.
It's not, from what I could see in the screenshots at least, a very intense app. It's, all code and very little UI, just using the standard toolkit.
Yeah, so I mean, and like I said, I mean, it works very well, and it uses. I mean, I know it uses the Vincenti formulas for the coordinate calculation and the projections and things. So,
Thaddeus would be proud.
Yes, if he is still, he's probably not still with us anymore.
I saw something referring to 1975. Maybe that's when he came up with the formulas. So
that's when the formulas were
It's not that old.
Yeah. I would say that's when he published the formulas. He probably was working on it for quite a while. I know when I was doing research on coordinates, so many people were doing so many different surveys and everything else, trying to come up with a good way to navigate. I mean, longitude was a big problem for years, as we know, and I've talked about that. Latitude's easy. Longitude, it takes time.
Yeah.
I didn't get to that one until you snickered.
All right. He passed away in 2002 at the age of 81.
Nice long life then.
All right. And he's given so much to the world of geocaching pretty much before it even started.
Right. He didn't even know about. He may have known about geocaching. He had 2 years.
He may have. Yeah,
he may have. Yeah. Who knows?
But little did he know that his work was going to contribute so greatly to keeping us amused in our free time.
Yeah. True. I mean,
that's what every great mathematician wants to do, is keep people amused in their free time.
just come out here and do some puzzles up here in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are heavily math based.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've tried a few of those.
They're a little too math-based.
I don't do so well.
Basically, I look at them and Piffle Bear says to me, "You do this one."
Oh, that's simple. Here.
Yeah.
I'll do it in my head. It's over there.
Yeah. And it was one of it actually, it didn't happen that quickly. It's like, oh yeah, this like and here it is. And she says, "Now explain it to me." And so I tried to, and she goes, "Never mind."
I don't want to know.
No. No,
I don't want to know how the sausage is made.
Yeah, I mean, she has a math concentration with her degree, so I know that.
Wow.
She's got the know-how.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, why don't we wrap this up, because we are at the 45-minute mark. And thank you so much again for great load of information that I'm going to put to use as soon as we hit stop on the show. and meanwhile, Chris is already looking it up while we're doing the show.
I already downloaded one, and not two.
Chris,
what? Huh?
No personal devices on the floor.
Oops.
It's amazing to me how many people have their personal devices right outside the door, though.
Mm-hmm. Wait, how did you get that so quickly? Yeah. Well, now let's go talk about something else. Like, how about this? You may not be able to join us until next week, but until then, check the Cache-A-Maniacs website at cacheamaniacs.com for more on the Geo Gearheads, including show notes for this and all of our episodes. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us feedback by emailing geogearheads@cacheamaniacs.com or through the many channels of social media. Your support helps keep the Cashmaniac shows coming. Please consider becoming a patron through the link on our website to support the Cashmaniac shows. Geo Gearheads is produced by Chris Umfenauer and Daryl Wattenberg. The show's copyright 2021 by Daryl Wattenberg. All rights reserved.